Hello, everybody, and welcome back for our halftime show following a very monumental victory for Evil Geniuses Academy. A win here means a couple things. First off, 100 Thieves Academy are now locked in second place. Cloud9, they can no longer take that position from them. They would have needed the 2-0 Evil Geniuses. And second, it means EGA are still in the race for a 7th place finish. They are still in play-ins for Proving Grounds, but they could have a slightly better seed going into it, meaning that they would play against the 10th seeded amateur team going into the tournament, which presumably will be DK Crew. Really cool stuff, seeing the Evil Geniuses pick up that win.
Yeah. Not what we were expecting at all, but Surdy's predictions coming true from his interview yesterday. And let's be real, we were hyping up Darshan as one of the best laners that we had, and he did not have a good game this time around, right? He's dodged Jet a couple of times.
So Darshan versus Sturdy, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that necessarily delivered in the massive hype that we were hoping it would for a 1v1 matchup. These,
I would argue that it did in some capacity. Sturdy looked really good, but then Darshan 1-6, somehow getting a solo kill. It was exciting.
Okay. Yeah, there were exciting moments. There were moments. Yeah. But the bigger thing that impacted the rest of the game was mostly down to junglers and bot laners. Cowrie having a massive performance, getting a quadra kill at a much-needed juncture, and then turning that advantage. 4 items, Zeri in that late-game fight with Surdy's teleport flank behind. I mean, those were the kinds of moments that really won Evil Genius Academy that game.
And I feel like the person that we're kind of like not talking about, the elephant in the room, is Saligo.
Thank you. I was just about to talk about that myself, because his Emperor's Divides were so good in that game.
And no disrespect to Cowrie, he had a pretty darn good game, but he didn't have to do anything impressive because Saligo was creating so much chaos in the fight. Surdy was creating such a spot where everybody had to run away, and Cowrie was able to move from target to target, basically in impunity. While he didn't do anything super impressive, it's because the rest of his team made it so easy for him to look good this time.
At this point, when there's an 80 carry on Zeri, we just kind of expect that they'll have a lot of kills and not too many deaths, right? Just based on how the champion works. So, with that said, we're going to play a little game here for our halftime show. We're bringing back an old one that we haven't played yet this split, at least not to my knowledge. This is one that we call Recall. I have a couple of blank slates. Well, you will. I was listening to the cast. I know, shocker. I actually do listen to my casters during the game. And I isolated a phrase that one of you said that, in my opinion, summarized a lot of that game. So, this is what the board looks like for everybody interested. You have to guess letters, and as you guess them, I will fill them in. If you get them wrong, that's a strike. 3 strikes, and you lose. Let's see if you can guess the phrase that I wrote down that one of you said from that last game. Joshi?
I want to double check I understand right now. It's a 3-letter word, a 5-letter word, a 3-letter word, a 4-letter word. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Let's start with E. You got to get some vowels in there.
You're going to go for a vowel right away. You're looking at the E. Wait. E. Oh no, I forgot. I forgot which. I color-coded these, and I forgot which one is color-coded. Oh no. Wait, I've already... Okay, no, easy enough. Easy enough.
E.
Oh no, that was the wrong color. That was the wrong color. Okay, that would have been if Cloud9 won. All right, Evil Geniuses. Unfortunately, Joshi. Oh,
there's no E.
There is no E. So that is the first strike against you.
I'll go with I'll go with the T. It's, it's just one of those common.
Okay. T. Way less common. But I'm not going to lie, that's a pretty good guess, because there are, in fact, 2 T's.
2 T's. Okay. So 3-letter words that end in a T that are likely to have been said, not, got.
It could be.
You want to guess another letter, then? Maybe you can...
I feel like...
Not.
O is probably the most likely vowel to be used here.
Yeah, O could be a good one.
So, yeah, let's go with an O.
Locking in O. And that's not a bad one either. There are, in fact, 2 O's.
So, then I'll be easy one with G, because that's what we think the first word is.
You think it is a G for the first letter. That is incorrect.
Oh, no.
That is now 2
Okay.
strikes. 1 more strike.
Okay. So let's see. All the letters it can be rot, pot, dot, not,
Hot.
bot.
Pot.
Zot?
Zot?
Oh, you
if
never
you're a
know.
UCI fan?
You never
Hey.
know.
Alumni here. I'm an alum.
Okay, let's see.
Just go
So
like R
there's
or
no
S.
E and there's no G. Oh, but we just don't have vowels in this top
You
word.
don't?
So
You
Just
don't?
go with
There's
like R or S, so that way it's at least something safe. The R, S, T are usually like the most commonly used letters, like that are consonants.
yeah, they're very, very common.
Y'all have some bold strategies. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just trying to figure out because we need vowels, right?
Yeah, you already guessed
We
one.
figure out vowels
It's not an
later.
E. You got the O.
I'm thinking A, magical.
All right, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's give
Lock
an
in
A.
an A. Let's see if there is another vowel A. That is correct. There is an A. You're still in the game.
Oh, okay. I'm suspecting the second word in the first line is flank. Is my guess. Okay. So,
So let's go with an N then.
yeah.
Let's go with N.
Okay. You're locking in N.
Yeah, let's try it.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, but not where you said it was.
Oh, but not where I was expecting it to
Not
be.
where you were expecting
Not-
it to be.
Not something on. Oh, it can't be. There's no E at the end. Not.
Oh, I love this game.
Ooh. What did we say?
I don't know.
Yeah, now you gotta remember back because it's something one of you said that helps summarize the game.
Huh. Okay, well, we still are missing a vowel in the third word, right? No
Right.
E, no A, no O. There are I's
And you.
and U's.
It's up to you.
What?
It's up to you what you want to use.
What vowel could it possibly be?
I don't know.
In...
I'll give you a hint. Because you only have one more strike.
Yeah.
I didn't include any apostrophes.
Not something it's...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's grab the I. Let's grab
All right,
the I.
you're going for the I. There we
Yeah.
go.
All right, then I'll get
Okay,
the S.
okay.
I'll get
I'll
the
help
S.
you out a little bit. I mean, I feel bad. otherwise.
Not something.
I'll
It's
S.
something.
Yeah.
Let's grab the S. Very safe letter.
Well, I actually. Okay, wait. That's not the right one? That's not. Okay, somehow the S disappeared, but it's okay. I can workshop one of the other S's into the correct position. There you
Let's
go.
go. Kangas
That-
Productions.
it's only the one
Kangas
S?
Productions.
It's only the one?
You're so close, guys. You're so close.
What did we say? Not something. It's something.
Magical. I feel
Long?
like you have to know this.
You think I remember what I said?
I mean, I would hope.
I don't remember what he says most of the time.
Exactly. I don't expect
We all
people to.
blank it out. Yeah.
I blank myself out.
Okay, so there's no G, so it's not long or anything that... something like that. What?
Production just told me that this looks like a message the Riddler wrote to the Batman, which
I don't mind. I don't mind being the Batman, but I'm pretty sure that's already
cheese
ended.
is very correct.
Okay, but just because it's hard for us to think, let's just go with like an R. See, there's an R.
Sure, let's do it.
You agree?
Let's try it.
All right, let's see if there is an R. That is incorrect. I can't believe you. I can't. This is the first time anyone's lost. But you know what?
I can't think.
I'll give you one more because I realized I have
Give
a
us
fourth
one
face.
more.
I have a fourth face
You
that
have
I
a
can throw
fourth
over.
face?
And also, most importantly, yeah, Joshi, you got to make the face. You got to make the face first of all. There we go. Now production, bring it back. There we go. Nice. Perfect. Thank you for that. Because Pick and Ban has not started yet, we'll play one more strike.
I can't think of at all what this would be.
Okay, so no E, no G, no R.
Yeah.
See, I really want it to be again. Not again, it's on.
And that's
That's it, right, Kangas?
No!
Oh, God.
I'll give you a hint. One of the letters is a very not common letter.
Z, J.
I'd argue it's one of the big 5 that's rarely used.
W, B.
Z? I really don't know.
Dude, I am literally out of luck with this.
All right.
Let's go Z. Z.
Well, okay, Z, unfortunately, that is incorrect.
Dang
so that is 4 strikes right there.
I have no clue at all what this could be. Like, literally zero clue.
If you had guessed C, that would have been correct. If you had guessed H, that would have been correct.
I still don't even
K would have helped a lot.
Yeah?
K would have absolutely helped.
Oh, yeah, I would never.
Oh my, wait, where did the B go? The B disappeared also. Well, there we go. We'll move that one over.
I would have literally never figured this out.
And the W. Whack, it's ball.
That's so funny. That is so funny.
It is funny, but I would never have guessed that one.
Well, with that said, it's okay. Let's explain my thinking here. Not whack, it's wrong. First of all, I'm going to have to ask Tomio about that to see what his opinion is on the matter. But second of all, I think Tomio's early game was actually pretty solid from Evil Genius's Academy. And also, it takes me about 20 minutes to get all the correct things in there. And I still mess it up every time. So that's what we went for with Evil Genius's Academy. Thank you, Joshi Magical, for playing along. And with that said, Pick and Ban is ready for Game 2. So I'm going to pass it back over to the two of you.
Bye, Steve.
Let's see how Cloud9 can bounce back. I know, I can't believe
they've done this.
I can't believe they've done this. But you know what? I can't believe
Kangas, but
this game. We got this game, but it have less stakes now for Cloud9. Cloud9 guaranteed third. No matter what happens, they are third seed. For Evil Geniuses, they have to make sure they're winning this game. If they get a 2-0 somehow against Cloud9 Academy, the third seeded team, they have a possibility, a realistic possibility, of passing Immortals Academy in the standings. But when I checked last on the path to LCS, I believe... Oh, actually, whoa, never mind. I'm not going to spoil that. Go watch it as well as this one. Because we got Champions Select going on right now, and Jinx got first pick for King again.
I am curious what that means, but everybody else on Twitter will get to find out before I do, as we do see Cloud9, they're still ready to play. This is definitely speaking more to their culture as a team, right, than anything else. Like, yeah, we still want to win. We are frustrated that we lost the last one. We had lots of opportunities to bring it back, and Evil Geniuses was able to win it. It was back and forth. Cloud9 had a lot of opportunities to be the better team in order to find the wins, and so far, basically just running it back. The only change has been the Trundle ban coming through from Cloud9 Academy.
Which I think can throw off a lot that Evil Geniuses utilized last time. That skirmishing mainly against Viego early into the game. That made it difficult for him to look to set up some of his lanes right out of the gate. So now that Jaden has a little bit more flexibility, especially because you don't have the Poppy, you don't have to worry about Wukong, you don't have to worry about Trundle, even Talia taken off the table, I'm wondering what Tomio will pick to answer.
Yeah, I mean, typically Tomio has been having a lot of success on these kind of ball of stat style champions historically. Yeah, that was the first champion that came to my mind. Volibear is a little bit less popular these days than I was kind of initially expecting, but Evil Geniuses, they just need somebody to be able to stand in front, have some strong early game skirmishing, and as we start looking towards the rest of the game, and as we see the Braum likely getting locked in to counter the Nautilus, I actually want to look at that last game and give Copy a lot of praise.
Oh, right?
Yeah. In a lot of the fights, he was having huge impacts. He had so much pressure getting put down with the Chaos Storm. He was creating a lot of space with his gravity field, but Cloud9 weren't really able to capitalize on it. And I feel as though, while Copy had a pretty darn good game, we talked a lot about characters with agency early on. Victor's not a character that has a ton of proactive agency. You can't necessarily make a lot of plays happen on your own. You are just really good at taking defensive plays, taking reactive fights. And Cloud9, they were slow almost every single time to showing up to the Dragons. Evil Geniuses were much better at them this game, and it allowed Sturdy to find flanks. It allowed Saligo to take control of the choke points and shuffle people into the right position.
But it almost seemed like it could have been the game dragged back by Cloud9 from Copy's perspective. He was doing so well with those Chaos Storms, burning through the tankier members of Evil Geniuses. The problem was then, once they got to the team fights and once Sturdy had those angles, he focused so hard on Copy, so he couldn't really do much counteract that. And now we look into the second part of the draft. Vi has been taken away from Tomio, but that Volibear that we were talking about before is open, or Jarvan. We haven't seen a Jarvan that much as of late.
Yeah, Jarvan definitely has kind of dipped down in the priorities for a lot of players, for a lot of teams, and kind of pushed onto a more unusual champion here for Tomio, right? He typically likes being a bit more central to the damage of his team, a little bit more focused on actually using characters like the Viego or the Wukong to get all the setup. Now he's kind of one and done. He goes in, he uses his big ultimate, and then he just auto-attacks and waddles around while he waits for his next E to come back up. And so Cloud9, I like the composition that they've drafted into them. We see a lot of similar things to the first game, and the biggest question I have is Darshan going to have a better lane, or is Surdy going to have a better lane?
No way do they flex this. No way. It's going to be Soligo playing Akali the first time this split. He's getting the champion, and Surdy is bringing the power with Jack's top lane.
We saw yesterday Surdy having the Jax into Yone, and Surdy on the Jax was so good. Now this matchup is, again, another skill matchup, right? It's not free for Surdy to always take wins into Gnar, but it can be difficult for Gnar to actually punish Jax early on in the game because Jax just has more stats. He uses the Leap Strike, gets a lot of damage down, and because he has so much upfront burst in his rotation, Gnar, his hop away needs to be saved for the Counter-Strike, and the Counter-Strike is on a shorter cooldown than the hop.
Which makes this all the more fun to watch, especially when we talk about Surdy, this younger player who had a lot to say. When we heard from him yesterday, we heard it today on the interview without much trash talking, he's been able to get out of there. And I want to see him really be the tour de force in the top lane against Darshan on Darshan's Gnar, and where we saw uncharacteristically that Darshan did not do well on the Gnar last game. It's hard to imagine that 2 times in a row Darshan would not perform to the level that he has proven throughout his entire career on that champion.
And so, this is the opportunity, right? Cloud9 looking to bounce back against Evil Geniuses. It always feels, right? I love the attitude that some of our top teams have had. We lost to ourselves that game. We made a couple big mistakes. We tried to make things happen, and we were wrong about it. But the mindset has to be there here's how we're going to make sure we don't make those mistakes again.
Yeah, and I hear the game is ready. Our second game in this best of 2, where Evil Geniuses were able to pick up an upset by taking down Cloud9 in game 1. And here, they've given tools to their solo lanes to pop off once more. Soligo, his first time on Akali, Surdy on Jax that he popped off the other day on.
So, as we start looking into the rest of this, Destiny, Tomio hunting. It's Tomio season.
Tomio will spot him out.
Not quite going to find him.
Good call from Tomio, who is able to get out of there pretty easily. Spots the rotation. A ward placed down by Destiny. So now that way, when he recalls, he can switch out to the red trinket. Kind of like what we see from Smoothie. As are some wards placed down. An interesting ward there placed down by Kaori right outside of the red. They won't have the most vision necessary onto the objective, but at the same time, they're not losing anything because of it.
And so, remember, everybody, right? Because Evil Geniuses won that, they're keeping themselves in potential consideration for finding that 7th place spot, right? Immortals started the day only 1 game ahead of Evil Geniuses with 2 games to play. And so Immortals, they also need to start finding some of these wins. They were a team that had a 0-10 run in the middle. And recently, they went 1-1 against TSM, a team that's been struggling. They beat up Golden Guardians, which, yay, they've had a very weak season, and then they went 0-2 to Fly.
And I believe they did lose game 1 to Dignitas. Like I said, you should watch back that game because it was quite chaotic, but it was a Dignitas win in that first game against Immortals. So there's every real possibility that we see Evil Geniuses take that slot away from them, especially if they can get a 2-0 against Cloud9. But Cloud9, they're playing for pride. They want to prove that they are a team going into Proving Grounds that is going to be one of our top 4.
Oh, this is the all-in.
It is?
Just kidding.
Nope. I was going to be surprised.
Darshan plays for wild level 1s, man.
He does.
Right?
And I expected him to try to go for something there too, but instead level 2 is grabbed by Surdy, so he's like, wait a minute, I don't think I can fight this.
Yeah, thinks better of it. Now, I'm not actually sure who wins the tiebreakers between between Evil Geniuses and Immortals if they both win their next games.
I believe they are actually tied in the tiebreakers. So EG does have the 2-0 to make sure that they can keep themselves above. Well, Immortals, I gotta see how well they do on... Yeah, so with the fact that there's more 2-0 wins by Immortals, they would have to win this 2-0 and hope that Evil Geniuses drops both games.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's... Evil Geniuses, they're still looking to find their way into this one. They need to find the advantage. And so far, you know, for the bottom lane of Evil Geniuses, even though Kairi didn't have a ton of pressure early on, now Tomio is going for a gang top.
And it is also looking to see if he can dive underneath the turret to do so. But it was a nice flash from Darshan, scaring him away. Good calls from both sides to make sure they get out of there, but with a flash burned out of Darshan, nice lane for Tomio to consider to revisit.
Exactly, and there's a big freeze coming through as well, so Darshan, as a top laner, you're crying like, please, Shaden, where are you? And Shaden's like, dude, I haven't even finished, like, all of my camps. Let me finish clearing my camps, and then we can talk about going up to the top line to try and fix your wave stay, because Darshan, very sad. You see he's going for a second Doran's item in order to try and be able to fight Surdy.
At the moment, we'll force out that recall. Surdy pretty low from the previous exchange with a TP from Darshan to be able to get back into the lane.
Oh, he gets the crash.
He wants the crash to deny some, and he also wants to deny that back completely. Force Surdy to delay as much as possible, especially because it is a cannon wave.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he won't be able to deny very many minions. Surdy will just be able to teleport right on back, but controlling the wave, again, Darshan, I mean, he plays so much for his lane stay. He plays so much for these 1v1s that he's one of the few top players that will do that, right? Just like walk through the wave in order to try and land the boomerang to stop the back. At the same time, as we look towards the bottom lane, it is a much better lane state for Kairi and Smoothie than it was in Game 1. They were slightly behind for most of the early laning phase, and the relatively young AD carrying Kairi took a long time to come online against King.
As we go mid lane, watch the skirmishing back and forth. Soligo is able to get a crash onto Copy, as Copy is low on mana. It will force out the recall from Soligo, and when we look at that mid lane, it is very volatile. Like an Akali versus Sylas matchup, Sylas can scale up really well into the game, but if Akali gets ahead, there's not really much the Sylas can do for a long time.
Yeah, it's definitely a spot where, because Copy is Kingslayer, one of the best abilities in the game is an ability that has to be targeted. It makes it much more difficult to actually go for a lot of these trades because you don't have the same kind of control over when they actually happen. But now, Tomio, he got the flash previously. Shaden will have a good idea that he's here. So Darshan should be safe for a little while. But remember, Shaden also has spotted out.
Yeah, they saw him go for that. That's going to be a knock-up with the flag and drag. Soligo's got ult as well. The flash from Shaden not over the wall. So it's followed up by perfect execution. First blood for Tomio.
Wah, wah. That's another unforced error. That was more forced, right? He was under a lot of stress.
That was definitely forced.
Yeah.
So
but this is a rough spot, right? Shaden is a player who, if his first gank goes poorly, if he doesn't have his first interaction go well, often disappears from the game.
Yeah, as we got to take a look at this replay, like you said, it's a forced error out of Shaden because this was a great wraparound from EG.
Yeah. I mean, it's just people coming through to try and collapse on him, trying to flash the wall, but not able to get over. It's okay. You know, we have a bit more forgiveness in those spots where you're trying to do it under time pressure. But still, the result is the same. Time pressure or no, Shaden ends up dying, and he's on this Viego. The Viego not necessarily going to have the same kind of impact.
Darshan level lead over Surdy, but Tomio nearby. This could get dicey. Now that Surdy's level 6, he's got those resistances. The Grandmaster of Arms. The jump in coming in from Darshan, but the flash away! Surdy, man, he's showing up in the top lane.
There we go, coming through, gonna clean up this wave right on back in. Destiny misses the dredge line. Soligo gets out. Evil Geniuses, that's 2 kills they got. Shaden going a little bit too far forward, and Darshan losing the 1v1 interaction because of the flash getting blown earlier. Surdy on this Jax is not to be trifled with.
And just watch this. He's down a level. Darshan's like, I'm gonna get him low, so that way I can still fight him later on, even when I lose my Mega.
I mean, that's the whole goal with Tomio coming around. I mean, he sees Tomio. He knows there's no retreat. He has to go forward. And so trying to find this last bit of damage, it's all about the Q timer, not able to find that last bit of damage. Surdy not worried about the auto attacks. The Grandmaster at Arms has too much resistances when he pops his ult.
Exactly. It's what I think without the ult, that's obviously a dead Surdy, but the fact that it was that final second of the ult that still remained for Surdy when he took that final auto attack from Darshan. I think Darshan was even trying to see if he could wait out the timer, but it was just a little too long because otherwise he was going to die to the turret immediately.
Exactly. So now Cloud9 on the back foot. Remember, they were about 2,000 to 4,000 gold ahead, basically the entirety of last game, basically until the end. So Cloud9, they're coming back from a deficit. Tomio, once again on this early game skirmishing champion, trying to create pressure for his team. He's done a good job topside.
But here we go again, a little bit of a battle between the two top laners. Darshan being Mega, utilizing that power over Surdy, but Surdy has the Grandmaster's Might back up. Counter-Strike to dodge away from some of the damage with the flash in for the stun and the fall! They scoop and dunk on top of Darshan.
That's a tilter.
Speaking of tilters right now, Smoothie is able to flash away with the pull coming in, but this bot lane, even if it arrives, they might just be here to die. They gotta be careful because Tomio, he does die. It's a double kill somehow for Destiny, and they've got the excited Jinx, but they gotta be careful because there's gonna be the reset city for Shaden, and I might have spoke to you soon. It's Cloud9 turning around the fight.
Double kill comes through for Shaden. King getting on the board, a couple of assists. Cloud9 firing right on back. The Oceanic bot lane is not done yet. They're trying to find their way back. King of Oceania, 3 Worlds appearances, 5 domestic split wins. Not going to be losing right now to some young upstarts.
The crazy thing about this replay, too, is it all starts off of the veteran trying to take on one of our newer players, who's also from Oceania. So taking the fact that we look at this play, it looks great for EG initially. It looks great, but then it's this play afterwards. Play where they kind of get caught out, and Poppy sidestepping mid lane as we go back to live. Able to skirt a little bit of that fight so far. Had to flash to make sure he wasn't fully doped.
Yeah, not going to land the concussive blows, but we do get 2 plates peeled off the top side, and Shaden was able to grab the Rift Herald, so a lot of small advantages going to Cloud9. Now, yesterday, we saw Cloud9 have a lead like this, going up against Team Liquid, and Team Liquid was able to bring it back. Yep. Earlier today, Cloud9 had this lead up against Evil Geniuses, and it was bigger, and Cloud9 was late to almost every dragon. They're not making the same mistake. They're bringing everybody here. The Evil Geniuses, they're not worried about this dragon. It's the first dragon at 10 minutes already. You don't get soul until 30 minutes if you get every single one.
That's only the Cloud Dragon as well, so they're not too fussed over losing that. Instead, they're more fussed on how they can set up the rest of the map. They've got Cowrie on an island. Cowrie is the one matching against Darshan in the top lane. Even though we don't have Rift Herald up just yet, they're making sure they... Oh, it's not, it already is up. Sorry, Shaden was able to get that. But now, they've got this play on to Shaden, who just oversteps. Didn't even notice the control ward.
Yeah, Copy, trying to run, tagged up.
Tagged, but he has perfect execution, so he's going to use the dive back in and try to set up King for success, but not enough damage just yet. Even with the Kraken Slayer for King, have to be cautious once you have Brawl. He puts up the wall and says, stand behind me.
Everybody get on out, and so far, Evil Genius is fighting right on back. Tomio again, nice dodge.
Calorie, perfect positioning, perfect reaction.
Yeah. But Tomio, 100% kill participation, already has the Gore Drinker completed, trying to have a bit more damage. Stretchline does miss, but Tomio has been so good so far in the series, right? It's whack, not bonk, the fight that we were always having.
This one is a whack. I'll give you that one. The other one's a bonk.
I have to think about that, because is it like a slash? Nah, it's too big. It's too thick of a sword to really have a slash.
Yeah, so it's a whack.
It's a whack.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll give you that one.
As the turret goes down, King going to be getting a bunch more plates being shared between him and Shaden, who actually drops the Rift Herald. King up nearly 2,000 gold over Cowrie.
Very different this game.
Very different.
Last game we saw that Cowrie, even though it wasn't the best laning phase, he still wasn't that far behind King at any one given point. He was always within arm's reach of King.
Yeah.
This time around, with all this gold granted over to King, getting 2 plates top lane, a full turret bot lane, he is in firm control, and Jinx versus Zeri normally kind of look at both these champions and how well they scale, but it's always about which one can get a little bit of that lead towards the scaling options that's going to find the most success.
Yeah. And so we talked a little bit before about winning like 50-50 reaction checks, and I feel as though King has kind of been like deer in the headlights a fair amount in recent weeks, right? We haven't necessarily been seeing him win a lot of those reaction checks. Like, are you going to flash the Malphite? Are you going to dash away like Kauri did up against the Gnar, right? We've seen King have a couple of moments to actually try and carry the game. The ones that come to mind are he's playing a Zeri game recently, and he had 4 completed items. Everybody was sieging towards the bottom lane inhibitor, and he hops over the wall directly into 4 people. We also saw, I feel like he had an opportunity to carry the game last time when Saligo and Tomio tried to catch him from the bottom lane lane brush, right? And he took a little bit too long to actually go for a flash. He wasn't ready. And this is one of the things that I feel has kind of been preventing King from really taking over. He always needs to be priming himself for these fights.
This game, it seems like he has a bit more tools to keep him alive, especially when you have someone like Destiny in your back pocket. You always try to heal for the team, even if you look for the non-committal engage with depth charge. Good for peeling, good for saving. Jinx, and now bot lane, flash in from Surdy. Notice that no Omega as we go back to the top lane. It was a rocket eaten by Tomio with an AI as well. Flash came in from Smoothly to survive. Somehow everyone's alive at the moment, but Copy is here to look for his own execution. Tomio's way too far out, but now with minions about to crash again into the top lane, Surdy got a solo kill. Okay.
Yeah, he just got run down.
But now Saligo to the top lane. Let's see if Evil Geniuses can win across the map. The TP comes in from Surdy. They try to dive into this top lane tier 1. The kill goes to Tomio. Doubles up the kills. Even if the turret is slain, somehow Tomio, who is focused at the initial stage of the fight, was able to pick up the 2.
And Cloud9 not looking like the team that we were talking about before. This was a team that was challenging for the top spot in the entire league earlier this week. And now they're starting to crumble, right? They are not able to make the plans. They're not able to set things up. The players that we were looking at to be consistent, King and Darshan, not stepping up. Another situation where Surdy is just clapping it.
And it's all due to this Gnar picked blind for a second time in a row. This time it wasn't that Akali matchup they had suspected initially. They flexed it around, gave Saligo Akali, and he's been doing well on that champion as well. Surdy, you get to take a look at this replay from the bot lane, soloing out Darshan another time.
Yeah, I mean, this shouldn't be particularly interesting to watch, right? It's just going to be Surdy running him down.
Yep.
Leap strike and get in range. Oh. Yep, bonk. There you go. In and out, bonk, bonk.
And bonk.
One more.
There it is.
Yep. It's just running after it, right? It's a situation of Darshan was wrong, and now, as we see the next part of the play, Tomio with no HP smites the Krugs in order to be confident to come back into the fight. Instantly kills 2 people.
And I love this for Evil Geniuses, a team that we had praised in spring but didn't get to see the same results we expected. Here in summer, they have struggled during the initial first weeks, but look at them now, taking it 2-4 against Cloud9 as Surdy is getting fully committed by the dive, but Surdy is still alive. He's still fighting. He's looking to get us done once more, but Shaden will get resets, but has to dive away as he was taking the tower for too long, which might give plenty of time for Evil Geniuses to wrap around. Kauri and Saligo are the only members, but they're pretty low health bars on the side of Cloud9, spotting out with the zap that they are pretty far back with the turret to save them. They could focus on Darshan. Hop is committed. Dash over the wall. That's going to be the flip in with the perfect execution. They're low. Darshan will survive, barely.
Crazy stuff coming through. You see King walking behind the turret?
Yeah, he was the flanker. He's like, look at me. I am the assassin now.
That's wild. You're looking like Mr. Meeseeks over here. Look at me. But Evil Geniuses, they still chase them out. And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Alex?
What?
Evil Geniuses are 9-5, but they're down 2K.
Isn't this exactly how it was last game?
Yep. King still has a ton of money saved up. He's already on the 2 completed items, but it feels like the rest of the team around him is still kind of crumbling. Tomio in a very similar spot, having one of the best series we've seen of him in so much of the second half of the split. He's leveled up quite a bit in his ability to play the map. He's been way more responsive to the things that his laners have been looking to make happen. And Cloud9, while they're playing, you know, a solid macro game, they're dropping the ball quite a bit in a lot of these fights. They're just going too far forward.
So if they temper themselves, control it a little bit more, This goes back to the identity I was talking about as a fallback for Cloud9 last game. They have resets on their side. They can find someone a bit too overextended out of Evil Geniuses. It almost worked for them last game. They were able to find some picks that get them a little bit of control back, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough to overcome the Death Ball squad that Evil Geniuses had built for themselves. And here, it's about the same, but it's Soligo instead, being on Akali, not Surdy.
And Soligo, he had some big game-changing ultimates last game, but he's not going to be able to do the same thing this time. It puts more pressure onto Cowrie to be making big plays, right? You know, I said he didn't do anything impressive last game, and I kind of stand by that. But again, he didn't need to.
No.
This is a game where he needs to. We know he's capable of it. A TCL MVP, TCL All-Pro, winning multiple domestic titles of his own. Now, he's got to step up. He's got to be the damage that his team is looking for, because Tomio, with 6 kills, he'll do a lot of upfront burst, but he's not going to be able to finish off a lot of these members.
So I do like that Black Cleaver that was built by Tomio. This gargantuan lead he has for himself to set up both Jax and Zeri when it comes to these fights, because he will be the one diving into the backline. He can get a good flag and drag. That's a lot of armor shred that you're going to get off initially, especially onto some crucial members like King.
If you can get that armor shredded, obviously do quite a bit more damage. But Cloud9, they're late to the dragon. They got the first 2, so they're not as worried about it.
He's mini, but he's got the hyper stacks. He's got the damage and TP behind, but Soligo is there to answer as well. They got so much damage on to Tomio, but Copy now fighting back, using perfect execution to get away as he's followed up by Tomio. Abscond abduct, gets the flash from Tomio, who's way too low to stay on the field. This could be Cloud9 time to strike. They're fighting back. They've got the lockdown on Asserti, but they've also got the lockdown on the Smoothie. Both of them dashing away, getting as far as they possibly can. But the rocket will whittle down, nearly taking him out. Copy was not able to get the Abscond abduct that time around. But despite they're looking like members were going to die on both sides, everyone is coming out alive.
Couple flashes blown though. Tomio does not have his. Kings will be coming up around the time the dragon spawns. Shadens will definitely be available, and so Tomio's engage range a little bit shorter. His ability to stick to crucial targets a little bit lessened. And so Cloud9, as everybody backs away, they're trying to get here first. Both teams should start getting members here at the same time.
Rift Herald has been popped by Tomio. Was running out of time, but also a good lane to set up around that dragon that's going to be spawning here in 25 seconds. Evil Geniuses, they've had some good plays last game. They're able to find these really good flanks, utilizing Surdy, utilizing Soligo to engage some of these fights, but on this one, it is on the backs of how well Tomio is going to set up the fights for them.
Yeah. And Cloud9 very quickly deal with the Rift Herald. They are now right on into the choke points, and Evil Geniuses, it's on Tomio to try and break those lines, open up the map. Soligo has a teleport ward to go to.
Trying to chase down Darshan. They want to at least pop that now before they have to worry about a fight, and they'll be able to get that out of Darshan. He trades some damage back onto Surge. Mega Bernard pop. Cloud9 has the small window. They have to make a play work now. Soligo is looking for King on the other side with a flag and drag and leap strike over the wall from Evil Geniuses to be able to get out of dodge.
Cloud9, Darshan threatening with the ultimate, but now it's gone.
Soligo, they turned their attention. He's gone golden. The Copy's by himself, so they all try to see if they can focus onto him instead, with a lot of damage coming in from Tomio, from Cowrie, to finish off the life of Copy. And Soligo survived on the other side, so this dragon will be Evil Geniuses.
Cloud9 immediately turning away from the fight. Copy again, 0 and 4 currently on the Silas, not able to find his way into these fights. The solo laners for Evil Geniuses outperforming their Cloud9 counterparts. Surdy again popping the Gnar the Gnar rage bar before the fight even starts, limits the opportunity for Cloud9 to even move in for the fight.
This is momentum for Evil Geniuses to build upon. Momentum in the proving grounds when they play in the play-ins that they can fall back to show the growth that they have had. You can see here too, Soligo looks caught out, and pretty much it, but everyone focused on him from Cloud9, so nobody noticed that Copy was getting fully engaged on.
Yeah, I mean, they're all auto-attackers too. How do you actually kill Soligo in this moment when he just goes golden and then goes invisible? You can't. There's just not enough time that they have to kill him before Copy ends up going down. And King You know, we've talked about this quite a bit. He has a lot of tools once he actually gets the reset. But before the reset comes through, Jinx is fine, right? You're looking for
nice
carry that can do more.
Looking for Smoothie. Jumps back towards the team, but double teleports from each side. The jump in from W. The flag and drag away. Saligo will look for a little bit of damage onto Darshan. They've got King. They've got a shutdown return onto W, but Saligo takes out the support while they try to jump onto Kauri. He flashed away. He's got distance. Shaden's chasing him down the best he can, but on the other side, it's Surdy and Tomio. No, Saligo fighting against the world, but they will fall. Cloud9 bouncing back into the game.
Overextending coming in from Evil Geniuses, and Cloud9 outhands their opponents in that moment. Evil Geniuses not able to participate. It comes from a catch beginning against Smoothie, but it ends with Cloud9 grabbing a Baron. This looks so much like our first game Magical, but watch this fight. Kauri, we said he needs to do something impressive, but he has no mana. He can't pop his ult. He can't do the damage across all of the members.
This is low. Kauri dives in 1v3, and he's taken out. He couldn't be a hero for the team, and Baron is secured by Cloud9.
Okay. I thought Darshan might go down there too. That might have been okay for Kauri. He tried to get out, as we hear, what it was, 10 HP?
10
was
HP.
Joey said?
Yep.
Almost nothing. So close to going down, but Evil Geniuses, it just feels so rough, right? They end up taking fight at the worst possible time. If Kauri had ultimate there, if he could start stacking up the lightning arcing between members every time he gets an auto attack, that was an easy win for Evil Geniuses. But Smoothie gets caught out in a window where Kauri can't DPS.
This is massive deja vu to last game. It almost seems at the exact same moment that Cloud9 found a great fight last game that it's happening this game.
Yeah. Right, imagine there's lightning arcing between these members right here from Kauri.
Oh, it's short.
He just can't, right? They rip apart all of these melee champions, but instead, because the DPS isn't there, even with King going down, Poppy can thrive. He can't really get to Zeri, but he can sustain through a lot of the rest of the fight, and the Bruisers on Cloud9's composition just out-tank, and they win the long fight after ultimates are gone.
The Baron now on the heads of Cloud9 Academy. They are turning around this game. It looked pretty dire for quite some time in this game. Even if they remained in the gold leads, the fights were not working out. But now, they can knock on these inhibitor turret doors. They can look to topple these structures, gaining even more of a gold lead against Evil Geniuses and even pinning them back into their base.
So as this first inhibitor goes down, Saligo is still pushing down there in the bottom lane, preventing Cloud9 from having that extra wave to play with, and so C9 gonna have to back out. They still have about a minute left on their Baron. They will go return to all of their waves. Evil Geniuses, if that's all they lose, it's not the worst thing ever.
No.
You should kind of be expecting that most of the time that the Baron does come through, and so we have to turn our attention to the bottom side of the map. Evil Geniuses will need to leave Surdy up in the top side in order to clear out these impending super minions. That means that it will be a 4v5 for a couple seconds, while Cloud9 start to retake around the dragon.
The TP for Surdy is not up yet. Should be up in time for a dragon fight, but you can tell Cloud9 are pressuring Evil Geniuses on that call. They had the CDs. They're probably now reading that Surdy has got the TP back up, that he was already rotating down, and you saw that pathing, where he was trying to make sure that he was in the vicinity without that TP so he could join any fight, but he has to... Okay, he's not going back up. It's Kauri going back up to match the wave.
Kauri is going to be given all this gold. He has to be close to Infinity Edge for Evil Geniuses to make this call. As Surdy comes back into the mid lane, this is a concession of the dragon by Evil Geniuses, and now it's not King, it's Copy.
I've seen this play before. Saligo should be able to get away, but the turret does fall this time around. So again, more gold cashed in by Cloud9. Now at this inhibitor turret again, but this time around, it is the bot lane. They topple. The Evil Geniuses, they didn't have members nearby. They're all trying to see if they can push back up the top lane, and now they'll lose the bot inhibitor for it, so they have to find a fight afterwards.
Uh-oh, Gnar.
Darshan, though, dives away. Does not have flash. They're looking to get the root. They got it with Everfrost, but that damage, that Kauri unlaid on them. They're flashing forward. They're trying to chase down Cloud9 as they are low, out of position, but they still got a long way to travel before they have escaped And with Dragon now spawning, Surdy dove in. They've got a lot of stuns, but they don't have the damage just yet. Surdy had to flash away, but Saligo popping off in this series, diving away. He will be silenced by Shaden, but he still was able to take out King. The rest of the fight now commences, looking for Cowrie, but the defense from Smoothie. He will be fine for now, but without any damage to really rely on. They don't have that ult out of Cowrie this time around. A very low mana. They have to be careful. It is a dance around what could be soul potential for Cloud9, but the TP will come in. Copy will be here. Surdy is getting chased down by Darshan, but they initiate the fight on a Copy and delete him. Darshan does get a solo kill on one side and goes Mega on the other, with Shaden to dive into the backline, but a nice flash from Cowrie, and Cowrie pulled back in by Dredgeline. He's got the damage though, doesn't even need the ult, so he whittles down Destiny with Darshan. He's on the other side trying to save Shaden, but can't do much. They're too low to try to re-engage.
And Copy and Darshan, they're having their moments of brilliance, but it definitely feels as though Evil Genius is standing tall and challenging them. And Cowrie stepping up. Even though he misses the first E, still has reaction flash trying to keep himself out of harm's way. Another dragon going to be picked up by Evil Geniuses. Their composition can still scale. King, they've gotten to him in every crucial fight thus far. They took him down near the red buff. They took him down. Saligo was able to find him. And as we take another look at this, remember, like, Evil Geniuses, they're desperate for this fight, but King, he just walks too close, right? He has to immediately get out of there, and Saligo, again, King losing the 50-50 reaction flash, ends up going down. Saligo does catch him, even though they trade lives. That is so much damage gone from the C9 roster.
Losing out on their hyperscaler, the damage that can compete with that of Cowrie. You see the fight, you know, it continues for a while, and it was really on a knife's edge on who was going to be able to get control, because Darshan solos out Surdy, but Copy TPs without his team being ready for it.
Yeah, but yeah. Here, I mean, that's the big thing, right? If Cowrie gets hit by that ultimate, that's a fight that Cloud9 can win, and even though Destiny gets the hook towards the end, Cowrie still has enough left in the tank. And so, we return to a very similar position as we were in the first game.
Yeah!
Alex, 3,000 gold lead for Cloud9. Getting into the late game, both King and Cowrie have enough items to potentially be the carry for their team. It's all about who can actually hit.
Who needs a salty run back when it comes to champions, when you can have the salty run back in the exact same playstyle? It's Surdy nearly getting caught up, but it was a good use of Counter-Strike to dodge away from the hyper-stacks that Darshan could have piled up.
Now Cloud9, they are controlling the space around the Baron. We saw this fight in this exact spot previously, right? Cowrie had no mana for it last time around, but Cloud9 soloing the Baron with a buddy.
Got the damage on it, and with King and Destiny being mid lane, they don't suspect this is being taken. It's getting burst down. Now Surdy is in the vicinity, and same with Tomio, but it could be too late. You gotta dive into the pit now. They spotted out, but it's way too late. It's secured by Shaden with Tomio into the pit. All 5 members of Cloud9 on the run. They've secured what they came for.
Evil Genius is not able to chase them down. Cloud9 again finding another Baron buff for themselves.
Nicely done,
The top lane inhibitor is open. The bottom lane inhibitor is still down. 3 minutes for Cloud9 to try and build up their lead. I was not expecting these games to be this close, Alex. I was expecting Cloud9 to kind of dumpster these games. I did not think that Evil Geniuses could challenge for the 7th place spot, but Evil Geniuses are playing well above our expectations, and I must admit, Cloud9 not living up to them, right? King not being able to stay away from all the sources of damage. Darshan, second game on Gnar where he's had a really rough laning phase, but still trying to find his moment of brilliance back in. Just mixed success.
The game is not over though for Cloud9. In fact, they are the ones with the lead. 4,500 gold they lord over Evil Geniuses. Even larger lead than they had at any point in the last game. Them knocking at these inhibitor turret doors, they only have this last remaining inhibitor turret that they have to deal with. The other 2 are completely exposed.
And yeah, that's one of the big keys, right? When you have split pushers like Sylas, like Gnar, this late into the game, it matters less that they are behind, because Sylas is just about as strong as Saligo in terms of items. So here comes the flank.
Pretty deep. Surdy dives in, but Saligo is still not there. Tomio nearly low, but surviving. They got the kill on Tomio. In fact, I was wrong with also looking at Surdy. Bounced around. He's not going to be able to save his Akali, but they got so much damage, they get the root. It's a double kill for King. Time to step up, baby. Oceania is here to reign supreme.
And there we go, King finally staying alive for the fight. Does so much damage. Evil Geniuses desyncs with their own flank, and Cloud9 gonna even it up and lock Evil Geniuses back into 8th place.
And with the game as tumultuous as this one, where it's back and forth, it even seemed that Evil Geniuses had the upper hand, and we're gonna get a 2-0 over Cloud9. Cloud9 found some great macro calls around Baron, but then set up King to go off in the last fight and make it a 1-1.
And it feels very similar to what we were seeing from Evil Geniuses earlier this week, right? When they were pushing other teams towards the very brink, but they were a single auto attack away from ending the game up against TSM. Just feels as though Evil Geniuses might be missing that little bit of a clutch factor, but King clutching it out this time. Not going to be dying in this last fight. Able to have his flash to dodge away from the turret and using every little bit of his health bar to make sure that he can get the most amount of damage across. Cloud9 finally bring it through. They take us to a 1-1 series, and while they are still in third, still look like a team that could potentially make a deep run come Proving Grounds.
When you have best of 3s, best of 5s, there's so much more to compete for. You have a lot more wiggle room as well to drop games to look better. But here, Cloud9, they even up the score against Evil Geniuses as well as denying them that 7th seed. With this loss, Evil Geniuses are locked in as our 8th seed, Immortals as our 7th. We're going to toss this up break. When we come back, we'll have an interview with the victorious Cloud9. Make sure you stay tuned.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back for our post-series interview. I have the one and only Darshan. Wait, we've never had you on the show before. This is crazy. Wow, thank you for coming on and chatting with us. What a treat.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's kind of weird. I love doing interviews.
Yeah. Well, happy we could finally get you on to chat, because I've got a lot of content prepped and questions that I can't wait to get off my chest. Jokes aside, obviously it is always great to have you on the show, Darshan. And I do want to start by talking about Proving Grounds, because that is the next step in the Cloud9 Academy journey. And just get your thoughts. How's the team feeling going into the big tournament coming up next week?
Yeah, so I think we went 3-3 this week, and I think it's really good for us, honestly. Like, I think some of these losses, a lot of things came up that we need to address as a team and as individuals. And so I feel like if we had went 6-0 and we were like cocky and confident going into the Proving Grounds, it wouldn't have served us very well. So I feel like losing these games in the fashion that we did, and the things that I think there's a lot of good things we could take away. I know people say that a lot, but I truly believe that without going into the specifics, there's definitely things that we need to learn to be better, teammates, people, and players. So I think it's good that we lost.
Do you have any words of encouragement, general words for the team? This is the clippable moment that we can put on social media. What's your message to the team, the inspirational speech going forward?
No, nothing inspirational. Just we all need to look at what we can do better and just focus on that.
All right, there we go. I hope that your writing for song lyrics is a little bit better than your speech writing, Darshan. Because last time I had you on here, I got you to agree that we would produce some kind of music content for Proving Grounds. And I already have a theme in mind. Did you know the LCS this weekend, they're doing like a whole Star Guardian theme?
I did not, actually.
Oh, you didn't?
Cool.
Are you going to be at LCS this weekend?
Maybe now that that's going on, I might show up.
All right. Well, if you show up, I just got my cosplay. It just arrived in the mail today, so I can start putting this on while we start writing lyrics together. Because the latest Star Guardian song that just came out this year, it's called "Everything Goes." Everything Goes On by Porter Robinson. I figured maybe that's a good place to start for our content for PG. Do you think we could just like spoof the song, or just kind of like redo the lyrics into PG lyrics?
I looked at like the first 45 seconds of the song. Let me hold on. Let me look up the lyrics.
Okay, yeah.
Are you
Pull
doing
up
a
the
Lux
lyrics, and then we're
cosplay?
gonna do some writing together. These boots are, by the way, look at these.
Wait, what are you cosplaying as?
You don't need to worry about it. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, I do want to see Buff Lux.
If you arrive, I also have a whole package of little light up rings, so everybody can have Star Guardian powers. Okay. So there's some more incentive for you, Darshan. Have you pulled up the lyrics yet?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna read the first line. Don't try to make yourself remember, darling. What? How can we spin that to like Academy? Don't try and remember last split. Maybe something like that.
I gotta sing it first. Okay. Don't try to make yourself remember. Something like that, right? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, that's perfect. That was great. Yeah, Darshan literally, before we started, I prepped him that we were going to do this, and he was like, oh, I haven't heard the song real quick. Let me check it out. And he just sang it perfectly. That is insane.
Let's see. Don't try to make yourself remember. Is this okay? What are we gonna name the song? I need a theme first, you know. Before I change the lyrics, we need like, what are we trying to talk about here? What's calling you things? What's going on in your life right now? Let's make this about you.
This isn't about me, Darshan. Well, first off, it's a very personal question. I didn't know we were at that level yet. But second of all, this is a song about Proving Grounds. This is about the player, so it's gonna be about what's in your life. I think it's gotta be about competition, right? It's gotta be like a tournament. It's like it's an anime song kind of, but this is like a tournament arc. So yeah, a Joshi is in my ear. He said like a world song, right? Like, let's motivate the people, motivate the players, get the fans going. Okay. Don't try to make yourself remember. How about we do like
don't try to I want the don't try to, but I want it to be about
I do too.
It's okay, so what I'm imagining the song's gonna be about is how you're better as a team. Things are better together. So like, instead of don't try to make yourself remember, let's try and do this together.
Oh, it even rhymes.
Let's try and do this together, darling. Or, I don't know. We need something instead of darling. We need like I don't know. I need a different word there. But like, let's try and do this thing together. I'll just keep darling. Like, let's try and do this thing together, darling. I don't know where that goes.
And then the next one is don't look for me. I'm just a story you've been told. Can you sing it for me? He's got to listen to it. He's a professional.
Don't look for me. I'm just a story you've been told.
It goes high. It goes high. Okay. So let's try and do this thing together.
Let's try.
Don't throw it bare and let's just group up and fight.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. It's working. Well. Again, this weekend is when we're really gonna skip moving with this. Our people will reach out to your people. Darshan. We'll actually get everything written out. How about that? I also I think blew my vocal cords trying to hit that note. That was
sounded great, man. That sounded great. Sure.
Thank you, Darshan. Any final message that you have for any of the fans out there that are eagerly awaiting the Cloud9 Academy Proving Grounds run?
Yeah, thank you to all the Cloud9 fans, and then personally, thank you to all of my fans. I feel like I'm the happiest I've been playing, and I feel like I'm playing the best I've been playing overall this split. So I hope that I can show my best play yet in Proving Grounds, and we'll see what happens next year.
Can't wait to see where your journey takes you, Darshan. Thank you for being a good sport and always coming on for these post-series interviews. It's always a fun time to chat with you. And yeah, we'll see you in Proving Grounds.
See you, buddy.
All right, we'll bring back on the casters now.